What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jai, and welcome back to Trending Worldwide, where we speak the unspeakable and name the feelings that hide in plain sight. I'm gonna get straight into it because today's episode is called Alone in the Crowd. Because sometimes the loneliest place isn't your bedroom at 2 a.m., it's the dinner table, the group chat, the party where everyone's laughing but you feel invisible. So let's talk about it. Let's be real. Loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's also about feeling unseen. You can be surrounded by people and still feel like no one really knows you. And that's a hard truth to admit, especially in a world that equates popularity with connection. And that's the silent epidemic. We post, we smile, we show up, but inside, we're wondering if anyone would notice if we didn't. Now, the pros of acknowledging it is you stop gaslighting your own feelings, you start seeking real connection, and you realize you're not broken, just human. And that realization, that's where healing begins. So why don't we talk about it? Loneliness carries shame. We think it means we're failing at life, that we're not likable, not lovable, or not enough. So we stay quiet. We laugh louder. We overcompensate. Now, of course, there's cons of being silent. It deepens the disconnect. It makes others think you're fine. And it also keeps you from finding people who feel the same. And here's the kicker. Most people in that room, all waiting for someone to go first. We're all performing. We're all pretending. And when no one does, the silence becomes deafening. We scroll through highlight reels wondering why our lives don't look like that. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's curated front. We start to believe that everyone else has a reason to do certain things that we just care to see and try to act out, but we know that we can't adapt to that lifestyle, especially whenever we have our own demons to deal with. We start to believe that everyone has it figured out, that we're the only ones fumbling through the fog. But the truth, most people are just as lost, just as lonely, just as hungry for connection. And it impacts relationships, whether it's a friendship, an actual boyfriend girlfriend relationship, even situationships. Loneliness doesn't just affect you, it affects how you show up. You might become clingy, fearing abandonment. You might pull away, assuming no one really cares. You might overextend yourself trying to earn love. Sometimes you might sabotage closeness because you're afraid it won't last. And in flourishing relationships, it can create confusion. Your partner, your friend, your coworker, they might not understand why you're pulling away because from the outside everything looks fine. But connection isn't about proximity, it's about presence. And presence requires vulnerability. Loneliness can also make us hyper aware of rejection. A missed text, a canceled plan, a shift in tone. Suddenly it feels like confirmation that we're not wanted. But often it's not about us. It's about timing, capacity, life. And when we internalize every shift as a personal slight, we tend to build walls. Walls that keep out pain, but also keep out love. So let's reclaim those connections, right? So how do we shift? We start by naming it. I feel lonely. Not as a weakness, but as a signal. A call for a deeper connection. We stop performing and start revealing. We ask better questions. We listen without fixing. We show up not just physically, but emotionally. We learn to sit with discomfort. We learn to be honest about our needs. We learn to let people in even when it's scary. And we remember loneliness is not a verdict. It's a moment. And moments pass. We also learn to create spaces that invite connection, not just events, but environments. places where people can be real, messy, and whole. We build rituals of belonging. We we tend to have unfiltered conversations, have weekly check-ins, spaces where silence is safe and stories are sacred. So I asked some of you to share some stories about feeling alone in a crowd, and this is this is some of the things that people had to say. I was at my own birthday party and felt like a stranger in the room. I have a big family, but I feel like no one really sees me. I'm the friend everyone calls when they need something, but no one checks on me. Which, we've heard this before on a previous episode. These stories aren't rare, they're real and they matter. And if you're listening and nodding along, know this: you're never alone. You're never the only one who feels this way, and you don't have to carry it in silence. With that being said, loneliness isn't a flaw, it's a feeling. And feelings are meant to be felt, not feared. So if you're listening to this and thinking, that's me, you're not alone, you're not broken, you're just human. I want to thank y'all for tuning into Trending Worldwide. If this episode stirs something in you, share it with someone who might need to hear it, whether it's this episode or any of the previous 7 episodes. And remember, you're not alone in feeling alone. And sometimes naming the ache is the first step toward healing. Until next time, stay soft, stay seen. Peace.